Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
Yes.
To lack of popular demand. And this week, we are discussing the revival of the handheld gaming console.
Yeah.
Is 2023 the year of the handhelds?
I think so, and I sure hope so, because, as a handheld lover, I love it.
As a handheld lover.
Even though, most of them are PC-based at the minute. But
yes, but we're seeing more people enter the market. We're seeing more movements and just a general kind of massive push into decent handheld gaming.
Yeah.
Which makes it more accessible for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And more sort of... it opens the doors to more people, because so many people didn't like handheld gaming because of how sort of cut back it was.
Yes.
You think about the Game Boy and Tetris, boop, 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 it's all right, great. Then Game Boy Advance and stuff, amazing.
Yeah.
I love all of them. I love all of that. But
for our generation of gamers, I'm not talking about necessarily kids that are playing now, but for us young adults, there was a stigma attached to handheld gaming that any decent game, if it appeared on, let's say, one of the Game Boys, it was a really stripped back, kind of a bit of a clunky version. It did suck.
Compared to if you played, let's say, I don't know, something on the PS1.
Yes.
And then there was a Game Boy version. It's going to suck. Tony Hawk. There you go. That's a great...
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was it Chinatown Wars?
Yes. Yeah, that was good, though. But yeah.
It wasn't very good.
It was great. Chinatown was amazing.
And old handheld gaming consoles were their own closed ecosystems, their own hardware, their own games on it. Like I say, if there was any that was the equivalent on the kind of console version, was loads better.
Yep.
Or there was their own games, and sometimes you have some quirky great games, and of course there are some great games. But it seems like that era ended with the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And Nintendo started something perhaps inadvertently.
Yeah.
Kind of groundbreaking in games. And now we're seeing, obviously, Valve step into the market and change it, or help evolve it even more with the Steam Deck, which is truly a groundbreaking piece of gaming hardware.
Yeah.
Sony are almost certainly entering the fray with what's being called the Q-Lite, whatever it'll end up being called in the end.
Yep.
ASUS, ROG, is it the Ally?
Yeah,
Ally.
Ally.
Let's call it Ally because it's funny.
Yeah, it's the Ally, but yeah, Ally.
The ROG Ally. It's just one more in a kind of big string of handheld current generation gaming consoles that are coming out.
Which is so funny because, you look back at it's always been Nintendo and PlayStation, Sony really. I mean, when you look back a lot, 90s, there was so many really good ones. You had the Atari Lynx, you had the SEGA GameGear.
Yeah.
There was the Neo Geo Pocket Colors, all that kind of stuff.
I remember.
Yeah, I used to have a mint in-boxed one.
That'd be worth something now.
Yeah, I sold it a while back. But, there's all these great handhelds in the 90s that were brilliant. It's still got most of them.
Yeah.
And they were great. And then everyone else kind of died off. Sega just gave up and all that kind of stuff. And then it was, okay, it's either Nintendo or Sony. Yeah. And that's it. And then Sony kind of made an amazing console with the Vita and then just ditched it. Yeah. And went, nah.
Yeah, too much work.
Yeah. And it was because they had to invest so much into that.
Because it was a closed ecosystem.
Exactly, yeah. So you had to have specific games to it. It had specific outlays and cost of the cartridges or whatever else.
And from a gamer's perspective, it had that problem as well.
Yeah, totally. Because you had to then, if you had a PlayStation, you had to then buy the game twice or decide which one you wanted to buy or whatever. And it became, expensive.
So I think when the Switch came out, there was a Switch.
That
you could have, for argument's sake, current generation games, portable and on a home console. And that was the whole point of this hybrid system.
And that is exactly why I fell in love with the Switch. It blew my mind at the time because I've always been both.
Yes.
I've had my GameCube, I had my Game Boy Advance, I've had my PlayStation and my PSP or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I've always had both. And then being like, I only need one. Yeah. And it does both. And not only that, I could play the same game on my TV and go,
and now play a handheld.
And now I can play a handheld and continue the same save, the same game.
And it was far more than than what the Wii U offered.
Oh yeah,
the Wii U is basically remote play.
Yes,
which I hate.
Yes.
Whereas the Switch was its own. It was our own handheld system that I could also play on the TV in the same console version. Hopefully, Sony's version of a handheld, when it does get announced, is going to be the similar or same kind of thing.
Yeah.
An extension of the PS5, perhaps, but not just remote play.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah.
But the Steam Deck certainly is that.
Yeah,
it's a proper hybrid console.
Yeah, totally. And obviously we have, because I know people are going to go in the comments and go, there's been other PC like handhelds. Yeah, but not this accessible.
Yes, exactly.
We're talking like accessibility to the masses, not at your 1,500 quid and random handheld.
And that's the other huge thing of why I truly believe that now is the era of the handheld console, is that look at the pricing of the Steam Deck and how accessible that is.
Yeah.
And how much you're getting for your money.
Yeah. Yep.
It's suddenly a very viable alternative.
Well, and just looking at PC gaming, look at PC's handheld was a laptop.
Yeah.
So you're still paying like for a full price PC.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To have a portable experience, which sucked because you're paying so much money.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't very portable. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
whereas this now, again, like you're saying, brings it to the masses, something with a controller built in.
Yeah.
Like it's all in one device. And it's 350 quid or $400 for the base model.
Yeah.
And you still have that upgradability of, you can upgrade the storage or whatever. And you could play anything from your old retro games that you bought on Steam 20 years ago to modern AAAs now. Yeah, okay, you might have to dumb them down, deal with some 30 FPS or whatever, but amazing.
Yes.
Like absolutely amazing. And then obviously we've now got the ROG Ally.
Yes, that's an interesting addition. And it kind of it follows on from some of those more expensive PC Windows-based handhelds that did exist in the past. That they offer a premium gaming experience, but the ones in the past just cost an absolute. They're £1,000 plus.
Yeah, they're really expensive. Something half decent. Yeah.
And now the reported price for the ASUS ROG.
Yeah, the rumoured price is going to be $650 for the 512.
That's a very attractive price. It's expensive.
Yep.
I don't think that means it's definitely not that much better than what the Steam Deck is in value. It's not like twice. It's not two Steam Decks.
Because top end Steam Deck I think is $600. I think something like that, and the Ally is literally 2 times the performance of a Steam Deck in terms of raw power.
Yeah,
which is crazy. If it's $150 more for the Ally, whatever, then that's significant gains.
It's great. Yeah,
obviously I'm still on the team Valve of
they offer just more.
Yeah. And I've just got my Steam Deck. I have no sort of need for that. But if you've been holding out for a Steam Deck Pro, then the Ally.
The other interesting part of this handheld revival that we're seeing is it's the kind of slightly grey market part of the gaming industry. And that's the handheld emulators like the Amberneck.
Yeah.
They've always existed. They've existed for a long time. But they're finally actually really good.
Yeah, the quality is up there. Yeah.
Really good.
Yes.
And stable, amazing looking displays.
Yeah.
Great
Hall effect sensors.
yeah. Mental.
Yeah.
So even in that part, there's just been this massive improvement in quality and accessibility. And it makes, as we've talked about a lot on this show, it makes old games, game collecting, the preservation of video game history more accessible.
Definitely.
But it just feels to me like there's this shift happening and that maybe the era of the big central games console is over.
Yeah.
Or coming to an end. If I can get pretty much everything I want from a Steam Deck for £400, let's say, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
I could play it on my TV.
Yeah.
And I could take it with me.
Yeah.
I could play my favorite game on my TV.
Yeah.
Take it with me.
Yeah.
Why would I have a need of just a big central gaming console that I cannot do that with?
I think it all comes down to, what you want out of it. Like some people, same with PC Master Race, some people pay like thousands of pounds or dollars for
purists
for like, the best possible, which is great. I love that, but that's all they want to do.
Yeah.
They ain't going to be playing handheld anything because they're just going to be sat in their office or front room or whatever.
The argument I say against that is that the industry is based upon not what the bleeding edge of technology is. Look at the PlayStation. It's never the bleeding edge of technology. It's what is the most sellable features.
Yeah.
And I think Nintendo have proved a really important point with that.
With the hybrid functionality.
And the fact that it's not bleeding edge. It's not bleeding edge. It's not purist. There's a place for that, definitely. But that audience isn't the audience that keeps the video game industry going. It's the over 100 million people that bought the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Like by numbers basis.
Yeah.
Those slightly more casual gamers are the ones that en masse adopt things.
That. Yeah, I get you. I think it's tough because I know so many people that just use their home console and they're like, I don't care. I don't want it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Other than just on my TV.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I'm both, like.
Yeah, and totally agree. And I would be willing to stick my neck on the line without even looking at numbers and say the majority of people with Nintendo Switch play it on their TV.
Yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that it's a hybrid console.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I love the portability of all these handheld devices, because even if I'm in the same room as my TV, I just like that I can kick back on the sofa.
Yeah.
Move into the bedroom.
It's amazing.
Go into the garden, wherever I want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Go on the train, go on the plane, go wherever I want. And I love that. But I'm still like, if I'm going to play it on the TV, specifically like on PC, I'll still hook my PC up.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed, just because I know, my RTX
because you've got the
3080
option.
Is going to play 4K at a higher. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but would you now buy a PC to do that? If you're in this current situation now, you've got everything else in your gaming collection apart from your PC.
Do I still have my PS5?
Yeah.
Then I'd just buy the game on PS5.
Yeah.
As well as.
Okay, now you don't have your PS5.
Okay.
And you've just got Steam Deck and Switch.
Oh yeah. I could easily, I get what you're saying. Like I could easily live with literally just my Steam Deck and my Switch. Yeah. And that's it.
You want to play it on your TV?
Absolutely. Yeah, you just hook it up. The dock, for the Steam Deck's £80, $80, something like that.
Yeah.
You can get cheaper third-party ones. And it absolutely will do the job, especially if you're running older games like we would play.
Yeah.
With the newer stuff, you're going to see that sort of performance down. But in the newer versions, we're going to see much better ability. And the same with the ASUS ROG Ally. They have that dockable GPU enclosure that you leave by your TV. And then you plug that in and now you've got the performance of an actual gaming PC. So that is where it's heading to those mobile GPU things.
Yes.
Because, it costs an absolute bomb and it's not affordable at all. It's like $2,500 or something for one of these enclosures with like an RTX 4080 or whatever it is inside it. Right, which is overkill. But
amazing.
That negates, you no longer need a gaming PC, really. If all you're doing is having a gaming PC into a TV, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you don't. I mean, granted, with PC gaming, I like playing like MMOs and stuff, which would be a bit more difficult. But it, it's still doable.
Yeah.
And I absolutely like if people said to me, okay, you can have any two things out of your collection. Yeah, I probably would choose my Steam Deck and my Switch.
Yeah.
And I don't care about my really high end gaming PC. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? And the same with the PlayStation. Don't mind. I've got PlayStation games on my Steam Deck. Because PlayStation games are available on Steam, so it's one of those, isn't it?
But even if that kind of strong statement, I get it. I'm being kind of hyperbolic. I'm just saying big statements.
Yeah.
Even if that's not true, there is undeniably a trend to move towards hybrid gaming, and definitely handheld gaming has made a big resurgence, and it's here in a big way now, and in an exciting
feels like the
way.
90s again. With all these different things popping up.
90s, but they've removed all the problems they had in the 90s.
Yeah. They had great ideas,
but they were closed systems, and it's that open system thing where it's both handheld and console is the same. That's where it wins.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. And that's again why I love the Switch.
Yeah.
Always have, and that's why I hope Nintendo would never change that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to buy another console. Because if they go back to home console, they're going to have to release a handheld, a separate console.
Yeah.
Because they always have had to. And why would they lose out on both markets? They know there's a huge handheld community. They've survived on it for years, you know?
Yeah.
So having both in one, perfect, you know? And I love that whole hybrid thing of I could play out on my TV and leave. Or I can play my PC or my PlayStation, you know, hooked up to my TV and then walk off, take my Steam Deck and continue. You know?
We've seen, obviously, Nintendo kind of really kick off this Switch.
Ooh.
Steam Deck's massive.
How many times are you
I'm going to use that pun all the time.
I think that's 2 now.
ASUS,
yeah.
Logitech.
Oh, yeah.
Samsung have a streaming, like a cloud streaming.
Yeah, that's the Logitech.
Is it the same one?
Same. No. It might be different.
But it's based on the Logitech.
It's just a cloud service thing.
Rubbish. Yeah. There's one big omission from that. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Obviously, and also
SEGA.
Sony are the strong rumors are this is happening. So they're going to have a portable hybrid system.
Well, potentially, you know, we've done a whole episode about that, and I really hope that becomes something more than we think it might be.
Those rumors and insider leaks don't come out of nowhere. So they're even if it never happens, there definitely
was some truth to it.
Yes, there was some work being happening on it. Where are Microsoft in this?
Yeah, where's Sega? Where's the GameGear 2 Pro?
I would buy that.
I would buy that right now.
If Nintendo released a Sega GameGear 2,
collaborated.
But
seriously though,
where's Microsoft? Yeah,
where is that? Like they've never done one.
Nope.
Like they've always stayed out of it.
Why?
Money, I suppose. They've always lost money on their hardware. Always.
Yeah.
You know, like they always sell everything at a loss because they can.
Yeah.
You know, and they make the money back on their Game Pass and everything else. And that's why stuff like the Logitech G Cloud was out, because it's basically a Game Pass machine.
And I totally get that, but none of that is made by Microsoft.
No, I know.
And that's the crazy thing.
But I would love to see Microsoft enter the handheld ring, especially if this handheld revival like opens up even more. If we see Sony enter the ring. And to be honest, if the Sony thing sucks and it is just a streaming service, maybe Microsoft will go,
we know what to do.
We're going to make something better than that.
Because Microsoft's, potentially Microsoft's and Xbox's Game Pass offering is so far superior to Sony's currently, to the PlayStation offering. The access to so many of the catalogue of games, it kind of makes sense for them to have a hybrid system.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for the masses as well. Like, obviously, people are going to say, oh, yeah, but if you've got a Steam Deck, you can do
you can.
Yeah, that's great. But
if you've got a Steam Deck, then why does ASUS bother?
Yeah.
Because you can access the same game.
But also, people are in their ecosystems. You know, you're either a PlayStation fan or you're an Xbox fan or whatever. Most people aren't like PC whilst being one of them. Do you know what I mean? There is some, but I'm talking most. I'm generalizing here. So little Billy that's got his Xbox, that loves his Xbox, if Xbox dropped a handheld, they'll eat it up.
100%.
I would probably buy one myself, and I don't own an Xbox because I have PCs. You know, that's I've always been Nintendo, PlayStation, PC.
Yeah,
I've had Xboxes.
So have I.
But up until, well, the Xbox One, so the only one I've not actually had is the newest one. But let's not think about that. I hadn't thought about that myself.
No one bought it, don't worry.
But you know, like, I've always been in the mindset of I can play Xbox games on PC, so why do I need an Xbox? I don't.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation has exclusives.
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo has exclusives. Xbox games are on PC, so I don't need one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I've got nothing against Xbox. It's just that I've got a PC. I don't need an Xbox. But if they released an Xbox handheld that wasn't a streaming thing, that had like, you know, all the Xbox releases on, I'd probably do that. I don't subscribe to Game Pass because I can't be bothered. I've got Steam and most of my games. Yeah, it's all these outgoing, you know. I want to buy the games I want, not pay service money for it, which is fine. You know, I've got nothing against it, but it is what it is. But if they did an Xbox handheld, it would probably be beefy, you know, with power.
Yes. And it would be cheap.
And it would probably be a good
Microsoft
price.
Underprice everything.
Yes, because they want to sell as many as they can to sell their games and their Game Pass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that would be sick. Like, if they did that.
Not even a rumor of it.
Yeah.
And it's an area I don't recall that they've ever stepped into.
Never, ever heard anything about a handheld. Like, throughout the past 20 years that they've been doing consoles, I've never heard anything about handheld.
It's an odd omission for them.
It is, yeah, but maybe again, I suppose they're just focusing on what works for them, I guess. Like, you know, I don't want to go up against Sony and Nintendo, maybe. But
I don't think there's any love lost between Microsoft and Sony.
No, exactly. Especially now with the Activision
exactly
deal.
that. Exactly that. That's a whole different discussion. But maybe they'll make Call of Duty just exclusive to a handheld.
Here's Call of Duty handheld only. Only available on Xbox handheld.
It could be really cool though.
It would be cool. I mean, I'd be so up for that. Like, I genuinely would. I've always loved them all. I've always had, you know, I've said this on other podcasts that we've done. I've always had the Nintendo stuff and the Sony stuff. So, you know, I had the DS and the PSP, had the 3DS and the Vita, you know, and I've had the Neo Geos and stuff in the past and all the different, because I just love all of it.
Yeah.
And even though, you can play most games like on a PC-based one like Steam Deck, I still just like having different stuff, you know?
It's the same. I had the original Xbox, the big black box.
Yeah, the original fat one that was
I think
it's
still here, actually.
I think you've got it in the other room, yeah.
I had
big fat controllers.
Yes, yeah. I gave up after the 360.
Yes.
Because I had 4 in the space of 3 months.
Red Ring of Death. Yeah.
They all went there, and I was like, do you know what? You can carry on. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I had a 360. Then I got Christina an Xbox One.
Yeah.
When we got together. Because she had a 360 and the Xbox One had been out a little while. I got her the Elite one.
Nice.
With the, you know, the Elite controller with the back paddles and stuff. And she thought that was amazing. And we loved playing
great
that.
console.
It was great.
Yeah.
That's actually how we started playing Final Fantasy 15 was on an Xbox.
Which is weird in itself.
It's weird, isn't it? And then we got rid of that because I think we both ended up with Switches or something like that. And then we went to the PlayStation route, you know, sold our PlayStations and got the PS4 and then now the PS5.
Yeah.
And obviously we built each other gaming PCs. So
no real need for the Xbox.
No, exactly. Yeah. But no love was lost. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a hatred thing.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it. I was just massively let down by that crap hardware.
Oh yeah, back 360 days. Yeah. Everyone had Ring of Death back then, and
it was literally it was 4 in 6 months.
Yeah,
something like that.
I had one, and I think it was within warranty. And I got it replaced.
No, I kept taking it back to be replaced.
Yeah.
But
like, terrible.
On the last one, I was like, don't bother. I'll just have my money back.
Can I have a PlayStation now?
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm going to go buy a PlayStation.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, if Microsoft had entered the game and it wasn't just a cloud-based Game Pass machine, you know, I don't know if with Game Pass you can actually download the games or is it streaming only?
I wouldn't have brought it up because they've never done it, so it's not in their wheelhouse. But I wouldn't have brought it up if it wasn't for ASUS.
Yeah.
And you go, well, that's a Windows-based, basically, handheld.
Yeah.
I know it's their own tweak on whatever the operating system will be, but it's basically that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if they're doing that, why aren't Microsoft doing it themselves?
Yeah.
That feels like maybe they're scoping out. Let's see how this does.
PC's always been slightly different, isn't it? Because even though it's running Windows, which is Microsoft, there's so many other like you're not actually using the Xbox app or whatever, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And ASUS being like one of the largest PC manufacturers of components in general, I suppose they just went, we charge loads of money for stuff, let's make more money.
This seems like it's doing quite well.
No, it's a great idea other than the stupid placement of the thumb breaking angle, which can be seen in the trailer with the person with the triple dislocated thumb to be able to get that bottom angle. I just want to rant right now because this really annoys me. I did a video about the Ally, and I said the biggest design flaw is the controller layout.
Yeah, it's bad.
Because it's staggered, right? Yeah. Whereas the Steam Deck, everything's in line because that's naturally how you hold. So if I hold my hands like this, right, that's where my thumbs go. That's where the Steam Deck.
Now, the argument against this is that look at a Pro controller or an Xbox controller and the analog sticks are at the bottom.
Yeah.
But why is that, Andy?
Because the controller is angled like a freaking arrow.
Yeah.
So the offset of your right hand lets you get to that thumbstick nicely.
Yeah.
But look at the Ally, it's like the Switch.
Yeah.
It's got straight edges and it's still got the drop down thing. And with the Switch, as we've seen, and why I've covered 10 trillion different Joy-Con alternatives and grips.
And if you think Andy's barking up the wrong tree, go and watch the ROG Ally advert.
No, I'll drop it over this.
Oh, brilliant.
You'll be seeing it
and
now.
It's just freeze frame on his thumb.
I'm going to.
Yeah. Because it looks like he's going to have carpal tunnel in about an hour.
They've dislocated his thumb like 9 times.
And it's not just in one shot, it's in a couple of shots.
Yeah. But that one particular is like, the guy said, how do I hold this thing? And they went, I don't know, just break your thumb until it works. And he went, yeah, all right. Yeah. But, you know, seriously, like when you've got a straight edge, there's no ergonomics there. Your thumb should be resting like this.
Yes.
Not like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work. If the Ally edges were like an arrow, it would make so much sense. And if the controls were like splayed at an angle, makes sense, but it doesn't. And on my other video, everyone's like, have you never seen an Xbox controller? Have you never seen the design of an Xbox controller? Because it's angled. But anyway, enough ranting about that.
Please make it stop. Daddy's scaring me.
But I love the idea of the Ally, and I think people thought I was hating on it. No, I think it's great because, again, I say this competition, you know, breeds creativity.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's brilliant. And if anything,
it'll push the Steam Deck on.
When the Steam Deck 2 drops in a few years, it just means it's going to be even better.
Yeah, and maybe incentivizes Nintendo to go even harder.
Yeah,
you know.
Which I hope they do.
And maybe for Sony not to release a remote play controller.
What are they thinking, honestly?
If it's just remote play,
it's just redundant.
I'm going to fly out there. And
I'm going to ring them. I'm going
to write them an email.
I write them a letter, handwritten letter.
Post it to them angrily.
Angry postage.
Into the post box. Stamp.
Slap the postie with it.
Yeah.
Give them that.
Yeah, they'll feel that.
There you go.
Wow.
That's it.
There's your threat.
But
until those threats land, I think that about wraps it up.
Probably.
If you're joining us on Spotify or wherever you take your podcasts, then thanks for listening. Make sure you rate us. It massively helps us.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on YouTube, thanks for watching. You know what to do. There's buttons below.
Press all the buttons.
Just all of them, apart from the one that's like that.
No, you can press that twice and then press the one next to it.
Oh, he's clever. He is. And until next week, make sure you stick around and watch one of these videos or that video. They're both really good. I promise. It's going to be worth your time.
They might not be, but just...
And until next time, we'll see you next time.
Bye.